Hello and welcome to Sports Week. We're going to Italy this time as me and Tolu pack our passports and look at Serie A because we've got a huge clash between Juventus and Napoli. Napoli sit third in the league, 6 points off the top. This is going to be an important game if they are to maintain any kind of title charge. Tolu, can they do it in Turin?
Oh, it's going to be very hard. I've been really disappointed with Napoli. It almost feels like the Antonio Conte style. If they go all guns blazing one season, it almost feels like they get burnt out for the second season. We've seen it happen. Multiple clubs happened at Inter, happened at Chelsea, and I think it's happening in Napoli now. They've also not been helped by injury, to be honest. I think Matteo Politano and David Neres are probably two of the better players this season, especially Neres. He's a bit of an enigma, can show up, but when he does show up, and he does show up in big matches, he's always a threat. He'll not be playing. He's injured. The good thing is Rasmus Højlund has been playing well. He's been scoring goals for them. Romelu Lukaku was on the bench last time out, so he's in line for a start for Napoli. Almost seems like people forget he's a Napoli player. He's been out for that long. They play a Juve side who, under Luciano Spalletti, have... I didn't initially know what their season overview was. I struggle to understand what the board told Spalletti when he was coming in because I still don't think they've got the best squad in Serie A at the moment. I think they've got just enough quality to maybe stay in touch with the leaders. They're currently in fifth at 10 points off the pace. And if you look around in Italy, no one's really panicking or batting an eyelid about how Juventus are playing or their position in the table. So that shows you that expectations at Juve are a bit simmered down a bit, and it's still early in the season. They're still in the Champions League. They won in the Champions League over in midweek. I think they beat Benfica 2-0. Napoli again went to a place like Copenhagen in midweek where you thought they'd do enough to win the game. Despite the home team playing with 10 men, Napoli still didn't win the game. That one finished 1-1. I think that it's going to be really, really difficult to see how they get the result here. These kind of games in Serie A are usually teams cancelling each other out. I think Napoli need the result a lot more than Juventus, but you watch the game and you struggle to see how Napoli are the ones who need the game more because they're usually very laid back in away games, always want to play on the counter-attack under Conte. I think they've lost their legs a bit. Scott McTominay still remains very key for this Napoli team. And I think the injury to Kevin De Bruyne also maybe disrupted the season a bit for them, especially when you look at how he was deployed by Antonio Conte. I think it's going to be really tough. For the love of me, I don't think Napoli can win at the ground like Juve because I think when Juve is set up in Serie A not to lose, especially under Spalletti, I don't think Conte has enough to break them down. They need to win, but I don't think they're going to win.
Well, Napoli drew with Inter only recently. That was a 2-2 draw. You could argue that's a good point for Napoli against the league leaders, but would a draw be a bad point at the weekend?
Oh, it will be a bad point. Because, look, the season when Napoli won the league, they went to some very difficult grounds and got wins. And I think that's when everyone realized that they could win the league. This season, it's not been that. They've struggled at some they've not been able to beat a direct rival, which is a very, very big thing in Serie A. Juventus, if any other person went to play Juve at the Allianz this weekend, for instance, if Inter went there, Inter would probably go and try to win the game. I think even AC Milan nowadays go, especially under Massimiliano Allegri, go to this kind of games, and they're very expressive. The problem with Napoli is I saw them against Inter. Yes, Inter are probably the best team in Italy, even if they're not top of the league or at any point. They still feel like in terms of manpower, they probably have the best squad in Serie A. And I felt like they were lucky to get a 2-2 in that game. They had moments of the game where they dominated, but by and large, they almost sat in and allowed the Inter come onto them. This Juve team isn't the best Juve team, but you still see against Napoli, they'll look really good. And that's a testament to how Luciano Spalletti has made them look. But again, it's almost a constant thing to say that Antonio Conte's team, the second season syndrome, has truly come on this Napoli team. I still, like I said, I don't think they're going to win. I could place my house on it. I don't think they're going to win at Juventus.
Please don't put your house on it, but put your betting cap on. Tolu, which way is this one going to go?
I'd say I'd probably go double chance on Juventus to win or draw. I don't think Napoli can win, but if I was going to put the smart money, I think it'd be two bets. I think I'd go Juventus to win or draw, and I'd go a straight draw because that's how these kind of games end. I think Napoli, in as much as they're not going to win the game, I don't think that Antonio Conte will want to live without a point.
Sage words there, Tolu. Thanks for your time as always, and I'll speak to you next week.
Thank you very much, Dan.